Hey guys, what's going on? This is Car number 5, and today I have another Flashback review for you. We're going to be talking about the Flashback 96 overall Prince Fielder of the Milwaukee Brewers. To obtain this card, you have to play Conquest, conquer the Brewers' stronghold, command the Brewers, rack up innings played with Brewers players in Diamond Dynasty, and then embody the Brewers by feeding them to your Dynasty players, and you will get the 96 overall Prince Fielder from the Milwaukee Brewers for the year 2009. Let's look at Prince Fielder's stats real quick, how I'm doing. I don't have as many ABs as I do with like Eddie Murray, but I feel like I have a pretty good feel for this card already. And I've also done some, when I did my tournament games, they were friendly games, so I don't think some of those stats did not count. But let me find this Prince Fielder. 35 ABs. I know it's not a lot of ABs. 4 strikeouts. Let's see here. 4 strikeouts. I'm hitting 400, 429 against righties, 286 against lefties. On base is 421, OPS is 1278. Yeah, so I got 2 walks, 4 strikeouts, 9 RBIs, 10 runs scored already, and I do have 4 home runs with him, so not too bad, not too shabby. 4 home runs out of 35 ABs. I feel like that's pretty good so far, and I had a couple other home runs too that did not count because they were friendly games. But that is the Prince Fielder, and we're going to have some gameplay clips as well as show you guys some batting practice and give you a few pointers and tips, so stay tuned for that. Alright guys, I wish I had more gameplay, but I don't have much gameplay actually in the recording, but I do have this one. This was in our championship game in that tournament. I do have a home run fielder just setting middle in. But I'll talk more about Prince Fielder, especially how people shift him and whatnot. But I do just want to show you guys that home run swing. Alright guys, so here we are doing some batting practice with Prince Fielder. We are using the zoom camera once again, and we're going to do bat control. Something that's going to be missing from this, and hopefully my gameplay clips showed you guys, there is an automatic extreme pull shift against Fielder. So it's kind of weird. If there's nobody on, you'll have the shift, and I really try to beat it because I feel like it's an easy single, and I'd rather have a higher chance to get on base rather than try to hit home runs. Because you know, it gets to be a mind game with your opponent. If your opponents don't recognize that and they'll throw away, just go with a pitch, get an easy hit. However, if they do want to contest you, test you over and over again on the middle half, be ready to hit that. Be ready to hit that pitch and hit it hard. The problem with that is, unless you really hit a home run or a hard line drive between like the second base and shallow right and the right fielder, or if you go in the gap, you're going to be out. So the shift is quite a nuisance, and you need to recognize that in order to be successful, in my opinion, with Prince Fielder. However, when nobody's on, or when people are on, just hit normal with him. Look middle in and try to pull it. But let's try to get into some more specific tips. So when runners are not on, what I try to do is I start my PCI, high and away a little bit, and I try to get on top of it. And I just like that, I try to just get a base hit just like that, and you have a lot higher chance to do that. So there's a certain spot in the order you probably want to bat Prince if you have this type of mindset. I don't think you want to bat him like second, third, or fifth if you're doing this, for a couple reasons. If you bat him third, it's kind of just a waste. Like, you're getting on with Prince Fielder with 2 outs a lot of times. And if you have runners on, that's fine and dandy. But what I like to do is I like to bat Prince Fielder fourth for 2 reasons. If you have 1, 2, 3 in the first inning, Prince Fielder will lead off the next inning. He'll be a leadoff guy, and they'll put that shift on you, and that's when you can kind of play like a leadoff man. You can just try to hit it opposite field and beat that shift. However, if one person gets on in the first inning, you'll have somebody on for Prince, and you don't have to worry about the shift. You can just swing away, and this is when you can just look middle in and try to pull it. So let's talk a little bit about that. When runners are on, pretty straightforward tips here. You don't have to power swing a Fielder because he has so much power, but he doesn't have great plate vision either, but he does have pretty high contact, so his PCI is a decent size. However, for the most part, I really would not recommend power swinging with him. Normal swing is just fine when you're trying to hit home runs, even when you're trying to go opposite field, because the guy has amazing power. It's not like Eddie Murray where you need to power swing a little bit. So yeah, I would recommend mainly using normal swing, looking middle in, and when you're looking middle in, I cheat my PCI a little bit towards the middle, and then I just try to swing early and look fastball. Of course, if they start throwing you off speed, adjust accordingly. Prince Fielder is also one of them guys, like I said, that can hit good opposite field power. So if they pitch you away, go with it. But of course, I feel like he's better utilized when he pulls the ball and you get a little bit more power. So for the most part, with runners on, I would try to look to pull the ball and lay off pitches on the outer half. So yeah, definitely an interesting hitter. Just because of that shift alone makes him a lot more different than Eddie Murray, in my opinion. Plus, Eddie Murray has more plate vision, so his PCI is a little bit bigger, and it's a little different approach. So the takeaways is you don't have to power swing. If they're gonna let you beat the shift, go with the pitch and beat it. I would take that every time. Don't try to beat it. However, if someone continuously throws you in, go ahead and get onto the ball and try to hit a home run if you need to. Definitely becomes a mind game. Anyways, guys, those are going to be some tips for Prince Fielder. Hope you guys enjoyed it. This is a really good card. I think overall he's a little bit better than Eddie Murray, but it's really tough to call. I think this is kind of one of them things where it's personal preference. Do you like somebody with a little more power and a little bit more reliant on facing right-handed pitchers? And that's another thing I didn't talk too much about. Prince Fielder, we all know his plate vision, it's at 60. But against lefties, it is a problem, and it can be a lot more difficult to put the ball in play. And I believe that is one big difference between Eddie Murray and Prince Fielder. When a lefty comes in, Eddie Murray just bats from the right side, and you can see the ball better. Prince Fielder actually has better splits against left-handed pitching, but like I said with Eddie Murray, the breaking balls are breaking in on him, so it's easier to pick that up and hit it and put it in play. Whereas Fielder, you're going to get a lot of guys using Chris Sale, Jake Diekman, Billy Wagner, Chapman. You're going to have sliders breaking away, and it's really, really tough to put those in play. So I mean, those are the differences between the two. So I'll just let you guys choose accordingly. I don't really prefer one or the other. I think they're both great. But anyways, this is Carnal Bird 5 signing out. Peace.